I don't like my hair today, man. It's pissing me off. Happy New Year's, everyone. They got that lung reinflated. Yes, they did. So, I'm sorry. Wait, no, I'm not. I'm not sorry. It wasn't my fault. Feeling better, feeling confident on no future emergencies. No. I know when I left, they were like, hopefully we won't have to see you again. And I'm like, oh, you will. Like, I don't know, I've got a bad feeling. But maybe that's just because the last two have both repeated themselves. And I'm just like, oh, I'll be back. There's no way. There's no way I'm done. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... So I last streamed... God, I don't know. What day is it? It's Tuesday today. It's been like maybe almost 2 weeks. Can't wait for her to complain about the other patients in the hospital again. Okay, listen. This time I wasn't an emergency. I was an inpatient. So I wasn't... Emergency is like so chaotic because they just have people coming in and out like 24/7. Whereas when you're an inpatient, obviously it's not that crazy. And I spent like 2 days in a room by myself, and then I was in hospital for a week. And the rest of it, I had a room that it was 2 beds, and then 2 people, in my time there, 2 people stayed in the bed next to me, but then some days there was like nobody there, you know what I mean? So it wasn't that bad. Take any drugs? Oh dude, I was drugged the fuck up, man. How I was trying to sleep before I got the chest drain in, it was fine. When I got the chest drain in, it wasn't great. My parents are like so insane because they alternated going up and staying at the hospital with me like all day, like every single day I was there up until they had to leave when the visiting time was over, which they did not have to do, but was like incredibly kind of them to just sit in that room with me. How are you feeling on the scale of 1 through 10? I feel fine right now. I feel good. But yeah, I was kind of fucked up. Do you have a cool scar now? I don't think it looks very cool. It's still like a wound. Like this is where they put the chest drain in. I only changed the bandage once so far, and it looked fucking gnarly underneath. It was gross. But hopefully it heals fast. Were you able to move around, or discomfort just made you want to lay down? Where did discomfort pain go away? When I had the chest drain in, I could move around, but I had to be... There was a tube that was attached to the drain machine, and then the drain machine was attached to the wall. So I couldn't go further from like I'd say like a meter away from my bed. And then when you're laying down, you know, you've got this thing on you, and I can't turn sideways, and it's like, it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, so... Tattoo over it? Oh, I don't know. That would hurt, no? Or maybe not if it's just a scar. How much came out of the drain? I think by the end of it, there was like 40 milliliters of fluid in it. Did they refer you to rheumatology? Yes. I also want to say, the hospital was so thorough. They had like all these people from all these different departments like coming in and asking me all these questions, trying to see if there was because they were trying to see if this was part of some underlying syndrome. Nothing came up, but were you producing liquid in your lungs? I don't... Clear fluid? No, it looked like pee. It was really disgusting. Originally I thought they put the tube into your lungs, but I think it's called like the pleural space around your lungs, and then the liquid comes out of that. But I think that liquid's normal. I don't know the exact science of it. Pee is stored in the lungs. It is. Does it hurt to perform breathing? At the moment, no. Okay, pleural fluid is a thin layer of fluid that lubricates the tissue that surrounds the lungs. When there's too much fluid in a space, it's called pleural effusion. Yeah, and it's like yellow. Streamer, did you have any epiphanies? No. Although, I was thinking the other day, I think my brain is... I think some part of it has like grown a little bit. Don't ask me to explain that further. But I'm like, I feel like I'm maturing, you know? Like, I realize I'm thinking about stuff in better ways. It's a tumor. It's not a tumor, man. I feel like more in control of my emotions, and I feel like I'm thinking more independently. Frontal lobe almost fully developed. Yeah, exactly. Can you move stuff with your brain yet? Yeah, I'm using 25% of my brain right now. Belle, can you explain with details how the procedure went? I'm super curious. The chest drain was... Okay, I... No, I shouldn't apologize. But I am kind of sorry. Because originally, literally last stream I did, I was like, I had a checkup the next day. And I thought everything would be fine, even though I was feeling a bit worse. But then it turned out that it wasn't fine. It had gotten worse. That's why I had to go back into hospital. You were awake for the procedure? Yes, I was very scared. But I challenged myself. I really wanted to not cry when they did the procedure, and I didn't. So I was happy with myself. I did have to bite on my blanket though, because they put like a local anesthesia on your skin, but then they have to like, they are still like, they're pushing an object, like a tube into you. So it still goes through like muscle and tissue and nerves like inside you, which is the part that like is just no general painkiller. They did also give me endone. I don't know, I was having so many pills, like constantly, even like after the chest drain. I was on endone, Panadol, and Nurofen, I think. They're making you a junkie. Yeah, okay, they did end up giving me fentanyl. That was a few days later. Because after they put the chest drain in, it was okay. It was still gross. Your guys' reaction. Whoa! I still have a scar from it because oh, not a scar. I've got like really gnarly bruising. Because they did it by IV. Look, you can see it there. It's green, and then I have this like oh my god. Okay, you can see it. I think this is just from the amount of blood tests they were doing to check my coagulation. I don't know why it bruised so insane though. I didn't. I had to be off the blood thinner too because like they don't want me to bleed a lot when they did the chest drain. So although I did go back on it, but like that seemed like insane to me. Now you're just on antibiotics for a week? I'm not even on antibiotics. Tell us more about the fent hit. Okay, the reason I got on fentanyl was because a few days after they put the drain in, I didn't realize this at the time, although I was thinking this is probably why the pain was happening. My lung had mostly reinflated, and because it had done that, I think that had pushed the tube, or it was pushing the tube up against, like, again, nerves, muscle, all that shit underneath. And that was like genuinely the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. And I was on painkillers when that happened, including I think I was also still on endone, and I could feel everything. This is gonna sound really dumb. I hate like wincing or moaning in pain. I find it so like dramatic and like cringy, and I never want to do it. Which I know is so stupid because it's just like a reflex when you get injured. It's like so dumb of me. But I was at the point where I was like shouting in pain. It was even shouting and breathing was hurting me, but that was my reaction to like the pain I was getting. But then as soon as I shouted, then that hurt really bad because like you're using your lungs. And then they were like, okay, we're gonna give you fentanyl. And then yeah, that's why they ended up doing it through IV. Because it was really bad. Everything's fine now, or not really? It is fine. Like I feel good. I like don't trust that it's not gonna happen again. Especially because if you have a pneumothorax, which is what it is called, because all of this has been like a singular pneumothorax that just kept getting like, well, it got worse, then it got better, and then it got a lot worse. Even when that doesn't happen in normal people, and you just have a pneumothorax that like heals itself, I think there's like a 30 or 40% chance that it reoccurs in the next 6 months after. So I'm like, I don't know. You're okay to continue blood thinners? Yes. Did you get scared when they said fent? Okay, this is just like internet brain, but I've only ever, like I know fentanyl is like, it's meant to be used as a painkiller in hospitals, but I only think of fentanyl from like memes. So I was like, oh, like fentanyl, like from the memes I see. Wow, it was a great painkiller. I mean, I was crying when, like a few days after, when the fent had to be. I was crying then. That was fucking, hurt so unbelievably bad. Fent is a great way to start the year, indeed. Thanks, Dream Go. Speaking of dreams, do you guys see that clip of him? It's like this clip of Dream being like, my evil plan is done. Everything, I'm the villain you all want me to be. And he was like screaming and shouting in Minecraft. It was interesting. Have you seen the one where a guy screams pedophile and he turns back? I have seen that clip. In Dream's defense, if I was in public and someone randomly screamed pedophile, I also would look, because why are you screaming that in public? But it's kind of funny.